I recently released a video about Edge Tamers. Edge Tamers are an accessory that bolt onto your front end loader bucket, and they prevent your bucket from digging into the ground. Now this is useful when spreading gravel or stone, but it's especially useful when pushing snow. Now I made a short version of that video and I uploaded it to TikTok, which now has about 300,000 views and lots of comments. And I realized by reading those comments and the comments on Facebook and YouTube that I left a few questions unanswered. So I want to go over those today. One of the things I failed to mention in the original video is that when I'm using the Edge Tamers to push snow, I'm using the float function on the front end loader. Now I do keep the bucket level, but if you don't use the float function, what will happen is if the bucket hits a high spot, it'll lift your front wheels off the ground, which will lose some of your steering ability. But also if there's a dip, it's going to leave the snow deeper in that spot. By leaving it in float, the bucket will follow the contour of the ground. So for me, when pushing snow, it was pretty important to leave this in the float function. Now you're probably keenly aware of this, but if not, the float function is found when you push your bucket all the way down to the ground, and then if you push your lever further, it locks in place, and that allows the front end loader to float up and down. If you don't use the float function, it's basically locked solid in that position. One concern that people expressed is that when you have the Edge Tamers on the bucket, they raise up the cutting edge about a ½ inch or 3/4 inch. So their concern was that when you're pushing snow, you're not pushing it all off and you're leaving about a ½ inch of snow on the ground. But I have a theory about that. So if you think about a snow plow that you see on the road, they have skids or shoes under those as well. So they intentionally leave those plows up about 1 inch off the ground, and that's so they don't hit manhole covers or patches in the road where the asphalt's been patched. So I don't think that inch is a problem, and I certainly don't think less than 1 inch here in a gravel driveway is a problem. The other way I think about it is if we had a 1 inch snowfall, I'm not going to go out and snowplow the 1 inch. So I don't see that being a problem whatsoever. Another question was, will the Edge Tamer come loose while you're using it? Now, I'm not saying that can't happen, but I don't think it's really a problem. If you think about it, most of the pressure is being applied to the front or to the forward direction of these Edge Tamers. So the bolt is there to lock it in place. It doesn't have a lot of pressure side to side, so I don't see that happening, but again, I'm not saying it couldn't happen. Maybe it's something you want to check on once in a while as you're working, maybe every couple hours or so. Now these are grade 5 bolts, so they are hardened. I think I said they were grade 8 in the original video, but they're grade 5, so you can still tighten them up quite a bit. But I would warn you to not over tighten them. By over tightening them, you could create a dent or a dimple in your bucket. So you want to be careful not to tighten them too much. Now some folks with a keen eye noticed that I did not have additional ballast on the back of the tractor when I was pushing the snow in the last video. Well, I do have additional ballast. It is fluid-filled tires, but in addition to that, I like to have my box blade or an implement hanging off the back of the tractor. And the fact is, I just forgot to put it on that day. I was working in the garage and the space is small, so I didn't have anything on the back so I could get the tractor in and close the door. And when I came out to use the tractor, I just started working and completely forgot about it. So thank goodness I had the fluid-filled tires. It wasn't a problem, but I would recommend always having additional ballast on the back of your tractor. Well, I hope that clears up some questions about Edge Tamers. If you're watching from YouTube and you want to see the original video, you can click the link right here. If you want to learn more about the Edge Tamer system or make a purchase, you can go to r2manufacturing.com and tell them Ed sent you. Hey, thanks for watching today. I appreciate you being here, and as always, I look forward to seeing you next time. I need to see the screen, and my mark will be right about here. This will be good. Yes, indeed. Maybe a little brighter. Can it be brighter? No, there we go. Brighten my face. Oh, you look fantastic. I recently released a video. Did I squeak just then? I think I squeaked a little bit. I also used the float function, and by using that, if there are imperfections in the ground, the bucket can kind of come on. When pushing snow, the fact that the Edge Tamers are under the bucket, it leaves about a ½ inch, 3/4 inch, I don't know, under, next to, it leaves a ½ inch. The cutting edge of the of the bucket. Yeah, that's it. We'll do it again. Take three. Take three. I have a theory about that too. I have a theory about that too. This sun is terrible. This sun is awful. I think I said they were grade 8 in the original video, but they're grade 5 bolts, so they are hardened material, so you can tighten them up quite a bit. Here comes a car. Let's let the car go by. Chainsaw, airplane, car. Well, I do have ballast in the back by fluid. Is that the right word? Fluid-filled? Fluid-filled tires. Liquid-filled? Liquid ballast. Liquid ballast. All right. That's not enough to go out and plow the driveway, so I wouldn't be worried about that inch, so why should I be worried about less than an inch left from the skid, what are they called? Edge Tamers. Darn it!